There we go. The magic lady has spoken. And here we are recording. Here we are, the virtual open day. I'm so excited. Are you excited? It's so exciting. So many people have registered for this event. It is mind-blowing, probably about 2 to 3 times more people registering than for a regular info session or virtual open weeks that we've run in the past. So I'm thrilled that you've registered. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm thrilled that you're watching the replay. So let's get into it. We don't need my cheesy dance music again. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of what to expect. And as I have been asking in the chat pre-hitting record, I would love to hear, when did you first come across Primal Alternatives? So if you've just joined in the group now, let me know in the chat. This is going to be a 4-hour event, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I really encourage you to take this time for yourself to get clear on what you want to do, because I don't know about you, but I just find that actually making time to answer all of these questions that we have, it really is important time and saves many nights of being up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to figure it all out, right? Give me a hell yeah if you're work up at 3 o'clock in the morning and think of your list of things to worry about. So this will really help you with that, even if that's all you get from today, even if becoming a Primalista isn't right for you. So what is coming up? We are going to spend some time getting clear on what you're looking for, and that'll help you determine if the Primalista license can help with that, and if Primal Alternative is a good fit. We are throwing open the doors today. We're going to show you everything. You're going to get the full experience. It's going to be like trying on being a Primalista for a day. And don't worry if your VOD box has got stuck somewhere in between Western Australia and where you live, because you don't need your VOD box today. You can still participate without that. And you can enjoy your VOD box when it does arrive. If you did get a VOD box, let me know in the chat. And I'm going to share the details of the Primalista license with you. You're going to get to meet some real life Primalistas. We've got a baking demo, and I'm going to answer all your questions. And if it's a good fit, I'll show you how you can join. So stick around until the end, because I have got an amazing offer to make for you today with the best bonuses. This is why I'm so excited. And a surprise guest, for real. Somebody that we all know and love is going to pop in. So any ideas on who that could be? And I don't know when it's going to happen. That's going to be a surprise for me. It'll just happen. So any ideas? Let me know. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. This is a 4-hour event. If you need to duck out and duck back in, that's cool. If you need to go to the toilet or have lunch, obviously, go ahead and do that. Don't worry about having to say, oh, sorry, H, I've got to go, got to pick the kids up. Just you do what you need to do. I'm happy for you to take me in the car with you for school pickup, whatever you've got to do. It's totally cool. And if you don't get to watch all of this, I will be sending out a recording. But try and be here for the live part as much as you can and stick around now that you're here, because the chances of you actually watching it are like a million times higher than if you promise yourself you'll do this work later, right? Oh, recording, there, I've said that. All right, so workshop number 1 is what the bleep do you want? We're going to determine your values. So you're going to need a pen and a piece of paper. Once we've figured out your values, we are going to find your golden spot, and we're going to learn what the 4 biggest money markets are, and how to have a successful business is a combination of your golden spot and where the money markets are. Hugely exciting. We're going to identify your current supports and challenges right here today. And also, yeah, your current supports and challenges. Yeah, both of those. Good. But before we do that, we are going to start with a short centering exercise. And before we get to that, I'm going to give you a quick intro, just to give you a bit of a feel for everything. I love this video because it was shot. This is my home. This is me in my kitchen. It just gives you a bit of a feel for the whole vibe of Primal Alternative. But a little disclaimer, waiver, whatever, the prices that are mentioned in this video are not accurate. This was shot 3 years ago, I think now. So just bear that in mind while you watch.
I'm H. I'm the founder of Primal Alternative, which is a grain-free food business. Primal Alternative came about because I really saw as a health coach how difficult it was for people to stick to a grain-free way of living. They missed their bread, they missed pizza night, and they couldn't have it unless they went back to one of their previous life foods that was then going to make them feel like crap and like they'd kind of fallen off the wagon. So I started baking for my health coaching clients, and the feedback that I got was that these products were really life-changing. So it's the kind of thing that they'd like to make for themselves, but they just didn't have the time. And so this gave the exhausted parent a night off cooking. It meant that people could have an easy breakfast or lunch on the go. And the cookies, well, everybody loves the cookies. What I decided to do was to share my successful business model with other women who've got a passion for clean living so that they could start their home business and start selling primal alternatives in their community, which gives you access to the online platform. We've got an online shop, which kind of is decentralized, so all of the primalistas get orders from the online shop based on their location. We're 3 years into the journey nearly, and over 100 women have joined me on this amazing journey. We are stocked in over 200 different outlets across the country, and that's a list that's growing all the time. The cost of the Primalista baking license is 5,000 Australian dollars, which I think is, I'm not saying it's not a big chunk of cash, but I think it's a really reasonable, conservative amount to be able to get the business blueprint to start your own business from home. So what you get in there is basically the recipes and resources. You think of it, it's there. It's all there for you, and that's what you get, kind of like a business in a box, and it's up to you to take that and create your own version of it and run with it.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it? You know what I like about that video the most is I like to see how my pot plants have come on since then. Like, oh, that plant's much more healthy now, and those trees have grown a lot. Oh, funny. All right, so we are just going to take a moment to get centered. Why are we going to do this? Because it's exciting. And when we want to access our higher self, our true self, it can be really helpful just to come back into the body, reconnect with the breath, kind of turn off the mind as much as possible so that we can really get in and answer these questions, because the first answer that pops into your head is the right answer. Okay, so I'd love you just to quietly close down your eyes. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath in and a slow breath out. And again, deep on the inhale and slow on the exhale. And just letting your breath return to normal, becoming aware of your breath and aware of your body sitting on the chair, becoming aware of those touch points. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes. That's nice. Very chilled. All right, we are going to get stuck into these juicy questions. So the first question is, how do you fill your space? So just write down the first things, have a look around that come to you. So this could be what you fill your personal, intimate, or virtual space with the most. What do these items really represent or mean? And what are they actually used for? Don't get too caught in, what does that question mean? Or is that right? Just write down whatever comes for you. How do you fill your space? How do you spend your time most? And what do these actions really represent or mean? Or what are you actually doing this for? How do you spend your time most when you're awake? Perfect. What are the 3 things that you always find energy for? So what energizes you the most? Because the things that you have energy for are the things that are truly highest on your values list and are things that inspire you. So what are the 3 things that you always find energy for? How do you spend your money most? What are the 3 things that you spend your money on most? You'll feel reluctant to spend money on things you perceive to be unimportant. If you've ever looked at your grocery list and freaked out, that just means food is one of your biggest values. What are the 3 things that you spend your money on most? Where are you most organized and ordered? So where do you have the highest degree of order and organization? So these questions are just different ways of asking the same thing, because different ways of asking it will mean different things to different people. Remember that everyone's values are as unique as your fingerprint. So don't worry about whether it's right or wrong. It's right for you. You're doing great. Where are you most reliable, disciplined, and focused? What are the 3 things that you're most reliable on? You don't need to be disciplined to do something if it's high on your values. And why is it important to even know what your values are? So that you can spend your time living in your highest priority of values. Because if you don't prioritize your time and your values, or your time, you'll be dealing with somebody else's values. Somebody else will fill up your time for you, right? What do you think about most? What are your innermost dominant thoughts? You can see people writing away. This is fantastic. Brilliant. What do you visualize most? What do you visualize most about how you would love your life to be that's showing evidence of becoming true? So not just stuff you think about, that you dream about, but you're actually manifesting it. It's happening. So for example, maybe you would love to be really, really healthy and cooking amazing food for your family, but that's not happened yet. So what is it that is coming true? What do you most often talk to yourself about? What do you most often talk to yourself about how you would love your life to be that's showing evidence of coming true? What do you most often talk to others about? So what do you keep wanting to bring conversations back to? What inspires you most, and what is common to the people that inspire you most? What are your most consistent long-term goals about how you would love your life to be that's showing evidence of coming true? What topics of study inspire you the most? So like when you enter a bookstore, what section do you make a beeline for, or what podcasts? I mean, magazines and newspapers, it's a bit old fashioned, isn't it? But what podcasts do you like to listen to? What sort of pages do you follow on Instagram? What sort of things do you read on Substack? What do you love to learn or read about or watch most? All right, you have done it. Go you. All right, so what you're going to do now, and don't worry if you don't get all the time to do it now, this is a really awesome thing to do at the end of the session. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to have a crack now. But what you're going to do is go and get a few different colored pens, or have a different way to differentiate the different answers, and put them into categories, so that you can see. So some of the things might be similar, like the example here: spending time with people I like, having a drink with people from work, going out to eat with my friends. So you can see it's all very similar way of expressing the same thing. So go through and categorize your answers, or color code them, so you can start to get some information from those answers that you've just given yourself. And then once you have got those categories, you might find that, what you're going to do is then add them up, and you're going to see, all right, well, going out with friends and socializing is really high on my priority. In fact, I've mentioned that nearly in every question. So maybe that is your high priority. You might find that when you add them up, there's two things that they get the same number. So then what you want to do is just to indicate what you feel is the most important value to you as a first and a second. And then you have figured out your values. How amazing is that? It's that easy. This is the work of Dr. John Demartini, and you can go onto his website and you can do this online, and it will, you can color code it online, and it will give you a little pie chart that shows where your values are. And it's a really cool thing to do. It's free to do, and it's a really cool thing to do maybe once a quarter, just to check in and see how you're going. Now, let me just see who is here now. Hang on a tick. We might have our little special guest or not. Not sure. Don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Okay, I think we'll keep going. I don't think so. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is find your golden spot. So just put your values paper to the side for now. Definitely go back to that and categorize it and really get clear on that. Okay. Pip's just letting me know she's not Mark Bilson. She's Pip. Awesome. So we're going to make two lists. We are going to find your golden spot. Sorry, I just disappeared from view there, but now I'm back back in the game. So one list, you're going to make a list of your passions and interests. Your second list, you're going to write down your skills and expertise. Then I'm going to talk you through the money markets. So I'm going to give you a minute just to scribble those down. So just, anything just free flowing, whatever comes out the pen is the right thing. Passions, interests, veggie patches, baking, health, family, check it all out. Go to the farmer's market, walking in nature, sunshine, swimming in the ocean, sleeping, napping, cats, pets, dogs, budgies, fish. Skills and expertise. It's sometimes hard to call ourselves an expert in something, but what are you best at? What do you find easy? And you can see how this overlaps with your values, right? This is going to be really interesting information that you're mining from yourself, from your soul now, it'll just start a lot of thoughts going, and a lot of this will create a lot of interesting realizations. It's very interesting. So how are we going with those lists? Are we still scribbling away, still scribbling? Hand on forehead, looking a bit furrowed brow. I'm just going to send a quick message to our special guest, so I have a rough idea when our special guest arrives. Otherwise I'll be going, is that our special guest? There. All right, how are we going? Good. Lots of skills and expertise. Just still writing. Need another piece of paper. So many passions and interests. Fantastic. All right, let's talk about the money markets. Have you ever looked into the money markets, or ever thought, what are the most, viable markets in the world? I hadn't, and it's something that I just came across in a course that I've been doing recently. Well, guess what? Health and well-being is the number one big money market. So whether it's, supplements, or how to meditate, or how to do a paleo diet or a GAPS diet, or anything to do with health and well-being, it's the number one. How cool is that? The second big money market is relationships. And I would say that, what do you reckon? I reckon that food is very connected with relationships. It's a love language. It's a way to bring people together and to connect, right? And the third biggest money market is the money markets. So people making money, stocks and shares, learning how to, invest in the money markets is the third biggest market. And the fourth biggest market is hobbies. So learning to play guitar, learning how to cook, anything, you know what a hobby is, right? So very interesting, I thought, and a lot of interconnection with the Primalista license into health and well-being, which impacts relationships in the community, relationships with your family. It's an opportunity to make money, and also it's a way to monetize your hobby, which is pretty cool. So this is where we're going to find your golden spot. So those two lists that you just made, your passions and your interests, your skills and your expertise, and the money markets, is where you will find your golden spot. So where's the overlap between your passions and interests, the things you're good at, the things you love to do, the things you're good at doing, and where the money markets are. So to conclude the values session, what I'd love you to do is to list your current top 5 perceived challenges and your current top 5 perceived supports. So that could be your health is amazing. You've got tons of energy. You've got a real drive to go out and do something in the world. That's a real strength or a real support. Or you could have amazing friends that have got your back. Or they could be on your perceived challenges list. So it's a really interesting way, to just get that snapshot right now and to keep it, put it in your journal, in your diary, and reflect on it if you do this exercise again down the track. Because it's really interesting to see how far we've come and what changes we're making. I can just see people writing still, so that's good. I'll give you a minute. Top perceived challenges, top 5 perceived supports. That's like a of your life today. Fantastic. All right. So what you have got now is a lot of data that you have brought from your heart, from your soul, and you can, from this information, go on to create your inspired action plan. Now, if you'd like to, you can brainstorm in the group, in the chat here, or you will share in the chat what you've found. Maybe you want to share your top 3 values, or where what your golden spot is. I'll be sharing mine a little bit later on today. So how do you know when you've got there? How do you know when you've achieved your goals, you're living in alignment with your values, and your life is showing evidence of that coming true? Well, you know that you have achieved that when you get into the transcended states. So again, this is the work of Dr. John Demartini. And the transcended states are gratitude, love, inspiration, enthusiasm, certainty, and presence. Now, I really like these because these are states. They're not emotions that are fleeting, right? When you feel, I just feel so happy, I just want to be happy. Well, when you're happy, you know that that's going to be gone just as quickly as it arrived. But feeling gratitude or love is a constant state. It's a transcended state, away from that primal way of, when we're living in our primal reptilian brain, where we're just moving away from pain and towards pleasure. That's really, like a basic animal. We know when we've transcended that state, when we're here with the gratitude, the love, the inspiration, enthusiasm, certainty, and presence. I love these so much. I have them as a screensaver on my phone to remind me about them. Very cool. So how are we going for time? Look at that. We are on time. I'm loving this. This is great. The next session is how the Primalista license works, or the primal baking business model works, and can it get you closer to what you're looking to achieve? So that is next up. I am going to stop recording, start recording, and we'll jump straight into the next session. So if you need to do a loo break, get yourself another cuppa, let the cat out, whatever you need to do, now is a really good opportunity.